So last you saw, the engine was making a pretty good clanging noise. I did some more tooling around off camera trying to determine what that noise was. I swore it was coming from the bell housing. It really sounded like it. I thought I could feel it in the bell housing. So I kind of kept messing around with it. Well, engine's froze up solid now. It went clang bonk. And now it's all froze up. Something in there broke for sure. So order of the day is get that engine out. Let's take a look and see what the hell we got. So here's where we're at. Before this thing seized up, I took the valve covers off just to check and make sure that all the valves were moving properly and that there was no binding or anything obvious going on inside the valve train. And they're like spotless. Absolutely clean as a whistle. Both sides. So I figured, well, it can't be stuck valve or anything like that. I checked the oil, everything was cool. So I started looking into the bell housing, the starter flywheel setup. And I'll show you why I thought it was that. So as you can see, there was contact being made down there on the body of the starter. The flywheel bolts were rubbing on the body of the starter. So I just made the obvious assumption that it was that, and I kept messing around with it. I shimmed the starter out a little bit with a couple of washers and started the motor again, and that's when it went clang clang and we got toast. So I figured, let me check the oil. I drained the oil, chocolate milk, so all the coolant got into the oil, which means something catastrophic, and the motor is seized up, absolutely stiff. So it's got to come out. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to pull this sucker out. I got to pull the whole assembly out because I can't get to all the flywheel bolts to pull the engine and trans out separate. So it's all got to come out as one assembly. So big job today. Let's get it done, get it out, and get it apart and see what in the hell has gone wrong here. Drive shaft out. Coolant drained. Radiator out. Stupid AutoZone fan out. Carb and spacer off again. Exhaust out. And I got super lucky. It came out really, really easy. Transmission drained. Emergency brake cables off. Speedo gear out. Ground strap off. Alternator wiring off. Transmission wiring harness off. Transmission crossmember off. What's left of the trans mount. Motor mount bolts out. Transmission tail shaft sealed. Nose down. Ass up. Shock tower braces out. Chains on. Load leveler on.
Mr. Projectionist, stop the show. Here's great news you ought to know.
Got a quick side job here. I know that this chain is going to be too long for this purpose. I need to be able to get this thing up as high as I can to clear the radiator support and all that stuff. So I'm going to make this adjustable. I will, as you can see, it comes through a little slot here in the end of the hoist. So I'm going to, well, I'll show you what I'm going to do, but I'm going to essentially make this adjustable so I can raise and lower this chain as needed to give myself a little extra height. As you can see with Cherry Picker 2.0, and now I can get that chain as long or as short as I want it, and the rest of the chain just goes up inside there. Easy peasy. Moving on. Movement! Jesus Christ. Fucking power steering hoses. Always forget something. Alright, that's enough for this one. Got the engine out, which is great. I'm happy with that progress, so call it for today. Still plenty to do on this car, so make sure you subscribe and follow along. I will put my feelers out there and maybe start trying to come up with another engine. I still don't know what's the deal with this one, so it may be rebuildable. I don't know if I want to get into all that. This was supposed to be a fairly quick project, so I think I will just kind of look around and see what I can find for a new motor for this car, and in the meantime there's still plenty to do. So next time we'll get into the diagnostics. I'm going to tear that engine apart completely and find out what went wrong. I'm very interested. I really want to know. So follow along with me. Make sure you subscribe. You got any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you drop them below and I'll answer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.